All right. Good evening. Good evening, everyone. So I think we just give a bit more time for participants to join in. I can see the numbers increasing now. Welcome to our next technical webinar series. We have had the previous webinar about 2 weeks ago, coming from IET technical webinar series. So now it's another session. Thanks again for your time. Topic for this evening, we have Mr. 𝗘𝘃cie𝗿𝘁. We appreciate his support to share with us. The topic for tonight is 5G in transforming businesses. So just a quick brief introduction about Mr. 𝗘𝘃cie𝗿𝘁. He is the founder of Global 5G Evolution, and it's a platform and community providing millions of engineers and university students with the content to help them innovate within the 5G technology domain. He has 23 years of experience within the telecommunications field in the key account management, business development, and commercial management in vendor and ICT consulting environment. And Mr. 𝗘𝘃cie𝗿𝘁 has presented in various seminars and sessions previously. So I will let Mr. 𝗘𝘃cie𝗿𝘁 to provide more details and about his background, and then take us through about the topic today relating to 5G in transforming businesses. So without further ado, Mr. 𝗘𝘃cie𝗿𝘁, I pass over the session to you.
Thank you, Fauzan. Thank you so much for your introduction. And then let me share my slides. All right. So yeah, so you're able to see my slides, right?
Yep, we can see a slide.
Awesome. So a very good evening to everyone. Thank you so much for joining us at this memorable event on the topic titled 5G in Transforming Businesses. And just a quick overview in terms of the experience that I have. My name is 𝗘𝘃𝗿𝗃 with the 23 years of experience in telecommunications and ICT field. And I have various technology experience from the wireless network from the day GSM has been installed back in late 90s to 4G LTE and now 5G, big data, visual intelligence, IoT, and digital marketing. I have a strong experience in key account management back in Ericsson for almost 12 years. And then I have experience commercial management in 𝗬𝗏𝗂𝗽𝗏, and I had ICT consulting experience and also the solution and services. And the industries that I was involved is a mix of telco vendor, telco operator, enterprises, government agencies, GLCs, small medium enterprise, and also the relationship with the Ministry of Defense in Malaysia. I was an apprentice to the late former telecom chairman, late Tan Sri Radzi Mansur, and also apprentice to the current cyber security chairman, Tan Sri Muhammad Azumi. And I also had a good, strong presence with the University of Technology Malaysia once I graduated from Nottingham University, UK in 1997. That's where I worked in the research and development, and I was apprentice to Professor Tariq Abdul Rahman between 1997 to 2000 on the 28 gigahertz wireless. Why I'm saying this 28 gigahertz wireless? Because today it's the millimeter wave for the 5G that is so much relevant when it comes to the radio coverage compared 20 years back in terms of the wireless point-to-point coverage. I also have experience with clients like Royal Malaysian Air Force and Royal Malaysian Navy in terms of the visual intelligence. And I have a 3 years experience in the fast-moving consumer groups in terms of being digital marketing and branding, e-commerce as well. And I have a qualified MBA from Victoria University, Melbourne, and Bachelor of Electronics, Electrical Engineering, and TU Nottingham, UK. And this is the list of the talks that I have done, starting from in 2017, followed by 2019 and 2020, where majority of the talks are very much involved in the 5G domain, because I'm very much focused in the 5G. And these are the list of the universities, the global conference, both in Malaysia and Singapore, that I have done. I'm also a guest presenter to Astrolight FM radio station and BFM 89.9 back in last year. And I'm currently the founder of Global 5G Evolution, 5G consultancy, media and venture builder. And I'm the founder of Exchanging Ideas 5G International Virtual Meeting Conference. And I'm a content creator. I own and manage my own YouTube channel, Global 5G Evolution. And these are the volunteer experience that I have, volunteered for Growth Faculty Education Management from Brooksville, New South Wales, Australia, where we had a program with President Barack Obama in Singapore back in 2019. I'm also advisor mentor to the University of Wollongong KDU Engineering School. I'm a mentor to the Graduate Student Association, Nanyang Technological University, Singapore. And I'm the mentor to the Asian Institute of Management of Makati City, Philippines. Now, just to give a very quick high level, what is Global 5G Evolution? What is our strength? We have a community where more than 120 speakers are on our platform. And we have covered 35 countries with 18 sessions. And this community are a mix of chairmen, chairs, CEOs, CTO, researchers, professors, PhD and master students, engineers, directors, and the senior managers. And this community also covers a huge technology that is related towards the 5G ecosystems, that is the experts from the AI, IoT, big data, machine learning, holographic, robotic, 3D, machine vision, digital twin, analytics. And we also have vertical industries, for example, mining, manufacturing, agriculture industry, who comes and tell the real experience in US, Europe, Japan, South Korea, or in the 5G development. We have universities, the 5G Innovation Lab participated with us. We have showcase use cases from Europe, US, Korea, Australia, and our audience are a mix of telco, startups, verticals, mainly coming from Malaysia, India, US, Ukraine, Russia, Australia, Singapore, UK, and Europe. And our YouTube channel is growing to the 8.3K views with a watch time of 495 hours. And it's a community driven, and we encourage a lot of the younger generation, the Gen Z generation, who are tech YouTubers, whether they are involved in augmented reality, virtual reality, visual. Please come and use our platform to promote yourself internationally. We are welcoming the Gen Z as well to be part of our platform as well. So without due delay, this is the YouTube channel that I was explaining to you earlier. And yes, please feel free to scan and click subscribe button, because this is a valuable content. And a lot of organizers are charging a huge cost and are giving it for free. For those who are subscribing this channel, you will be given a valuable gift at the end of the session. So please stay tuned, and please do scan this QR code and click subscribe button. Now, let's move on to the real topic here, 5G in transforming businesses. Now, if you see on the left box here, where 5G technology has been deployed, like countries where 5G networks has been implemented or even launched, those are in the dark blue, where North America, followed by South America, China, Japan, Korea, Australia, South Africa, and a whole lot of the Europe regions. And the light blue is the countries that currently the 5G equipment is been implemented. And those countries, including North Africa and East Europe and Russia and Malaysia as well. And it comes to the potential investment, you can see those are the countries like India and Iceland and some part of the Mexico as well. So I believe that 5G is so important, so critical that none of the countries should be left out, right, in this world. So that is how important 5G is. And on the right hand side, this is the statistics from Statista, where 5G is reliably faster than the 4G. And South Korea is leading in terms of the download speeds in megabits per second, which is 161.8 megabits per second, followed by Australia with 61.5, and Germany about 30.8, and UK 28.9. And this will grow to more than 200 or 300, even up to 500 in less than 12 months, because of the churn of data that is required to be utilized by the youngsters particularly. And on the left hand side, we see the world's top 10 gaming markets. And in terms of the revenue of video games per country in billion US dollars, we anticipate by 2025 that China will be leading with the 71 billion US dollars, followed by US, Japan, South Korea, UK, India, France. So I would say the gaming market is picking up very well. And in fact, other countries are getting much more interest, like Saudi Arabia, Thailand also are getting on board in the video games. On the right-hand box here, the emerging of esports. When it comes to market of Europe, there's a share of respondents who spend more time watching esports in 2020 compared to 2019. So esports is something very trendy, 92 million audience in 2020 in Europe, with year-to-year of growth of 7.4%, right? So these are the new trends of applications that we can anticipate. And on the left-hand box here, the top 5G industries in the next 5 years, and the projected contribution for 5G to US in terms the GDP for the industry that is focused, it's a information communications, where most of the telco mobile operators like AT&T, Verizon, Sprint are very much focused in the GDP for the country, followed by real estate, business services, manufacturing, finance. And on the right box here, as you see, the global 5G smartphone shipments in 2019 from the and followed by the first quarter 2020 and the first quarter of 2021, you can able to see that mobile devices like Xiaomi, Oppo, Vivo, Apple and Samsung are getting a steady growth in terms of the devices in millions, right, as you can see here. And there is a huge decline in terms of the Huawei phone devices, right? So trend has been changing. Xiaomi and Oppo is trying to reach to Samsung growth as well. So this is quite interesting to see other industry players are getting ramped up to the new way of on the new concept of devices. This slide shows the industrial Internet of Things in terms of the market size worldwide from 2017 to 2025 in billion dollars. As you can see, it's a steady growth in terms of the industrial IoT. Today, the record of IoT that has been reached is about 35 billion devices in worldwide. And I would say that the majority of the devices equally shared by the phone devices, followed by the CCTV cameras, and other will be the wearables, the top box of for broadcasting, home devices, etc. And on the right hand side, we could able to see the 5G contribution to the GDP by 2030 on the selected countries in billion US dollars. And country like US is fast surpassing in terms of the GDP contribution, and followed by China, Japan, Germany, UK, India, South Korea as well, right? And this is quite a interesting slide that I would like to spend a bit more time in terms of the coefficient analysis of the development and drivers of mobile data compared to the 45 countries from all regions in the world. And the pandemic affected us all, although we to a high extent to spend the year in our homes. Mobile data usage increased in every single country, and mobile data is apparently not just used by people on the move, but it has been used in the home during this COVID situation. And countries like Finland, followed by Taiwan, Bahrain, and Latvia, lead the world in average data usage per subscription. And the using mobile data has never been cheaper, but the erosion in the revenue per gigabyte varies a lot between the markets. Croatia had the fastest erosion in terms of 53%, and India is the slowest erosion with just 5%. And Finnish SIM cards carry about 24.4 GB of data per month in 2020, followed by 68% of SIMs with unlimited data volume, right? So the trend is, it has been already started. Like many people have been saying, oh, 5G, it's very difficult, especially telcos, they were saying 5G is very difficult to have an unlimited, you got to cap because of the huge cost of 5G deployment. But look here, Finnish, they have started with unlimited data, right? So that's how the trend is going to be. And surprisingly, interestingly, Malaysia is falling in the fourth position, right? So we can see in Malaysia, there's a huge opportunity when it comes to 5G, because in terms of the data consumption, Malaysia is ranking number 4 in the world. So this is quite a very interesting slide. And if you see the next slide, this is the price levels for the mobile phone devices. Of course, from the world point of view, from telecom bodies, the 3GPP, the GSMA, the ITU, they wanted that, that more people can afford to purchase the devices for 5G. And if we see the price range less than 500 USD, China Mobile is leading in that aspect because of the population of the country, so that everyone can able to afford to purchase, followed by DNA Finland and 𝗬𝗟liche in Europe, right? So that is quite good, positive results. Low mid-range, yes, country like China, DNA Finland, 𝗬𝗟liche as well, and the high range of price of mobile devices, 1,200 USD per device. Countries like Telstra in Australia is much more popular. Vodacom South Africa is very much popular as well. And yeah, maybe SK Telecom and 𝗬𝗟liche as well. Now, if we see this is quite an interesting slide in terms of enterprise interest in 5G based application services, right? So we can able to see that there was a survey was being done, which or will be the most significant 5G based IoT application types for your organization by the Ernst & Young, surveyed more than 1,000 executives across North America, Europe, and Asia. And we can see the critical infrastructure monitoring and control, the supply chain management and orchestration, the system and process optimization, private campus or network capability, customer insights and feedback. These are the most popular ones in 2021. So if critical infrastructure IoT, it's very clear. Those are the CCTV cameras with high inferring of AI, with the edge capability and high processing power. That is the future of the CCTV cameras. And if we move to the next slide, this is a complete information about telco price versus SIM offered by Singapore, where if we see on this particular last 3 boxes, these are the offered plans of 5G package with the upfront cost and the monthly cost and the total cost for 24 months for the 5G phones, together with the 5G SIM card, with the cap of data of 17 GB, 10 GB, and 30 GB for StarHub. And M1 and Singtel are still giving it for free up to 6 months for the 5G. But then StarHub has already given a free service for 5G, right, on top of the existing, the 4G, right? So this is quite an interesting package that is offered by Singtel. If we move towards to the next slide, this is the packet data offered by Indonesia. And Indonesia is quite popular in terms of the recent launch by Telkomsel, where any existing user of a 4G, they just need to purchase an additional USD $1.82. And this is quite an interesting package, right, for the existing 4G. Of course, it's with the limited coverage. And then there's an offer in terms of 60 GB, 350 GB, and 650 GB data with a price of $9 USD, followed by 35 and 63. So the moral of the story is that we can able to see the growth of the GB data from average 200 to 80 or 200. It can go up to 650 GB because of the humongous applications, apps, particularly HD, augmented reality, virtual reality, so on and so forth. This is a data statistic from Thailand, and this is the actual implementation where we can see the real application that churning the 5G is the streaming HD videos, the cloud gaming on smartphone, the VR apps, the streaming HD music, AR apps, downloading the HD video and watching the 360-degree videos in HD format. And there is a huge 57% started streaming HD as well, right? So that is a, we can see there's a potential in terms of the growth of the HD video streaming and also the AR, VR. And this is a very interesting slide, the T-Universe, which is the new subscription e-commerce platform offered by South Korea Telecom. And this SKT subscription brand name T-Universe embodies the company's vision of creating a subscription platform for all, meaning that it will be created in collaboration with parties ranging from small, medium enterprise and startups to global companies and used by all customers in Korea. And it also symbolized SKT's commitment to satisfy varying needs and preference of customers through a new universe of subscription services. And the company is already working closely with partners from various industries, including the online, offline shopping like Amazon, 11th Street, E-Mart, food and beverage, Starbucks, Paris, Bedel, Mijok, digital service like Google One, 𝗰𝗵, Xbox games, mobile service like T-Map, cosmetics like Town 28, flower subscription like Kuka, pet products, insurance, nutritional supplements, and education. So you can see a huge wide of ecosystem on SKT Telecom, because this is how the trend is going in the future. So telcos who is in this other part of APAC region or even in Europe, please try to emulate the way how the SK Telecom has been doing, because this is a fantastic idea using the Amazon Web Store platform, because the reach out that SKT is expecting to target about 36 million subscribers by 2025, right? So there is a subscription fee of a Korean won, which is about 9,900. If you translate to Malaysian ringgit, about 35. And this Universe Pass is you can able to use the coupons worth of Korean won of 10,000, right? So that means, you know, basically you're getting it for free, right? Because in terms of returns of coupons that you can able to purchase for free, offered by the huge ecosystems of the small, medium enterprises and the enterprises, right? So this is quite a fantastic idea as well. If we see this new paradigms of content creation, right? In future, there will be a democratization of the ability to create content anywhere, right? That's how the trend is going to look like. the proliferation of mobile devices and easy house editing and production tools have resulted in an explosion of user-generated content like videos, podcasts, and planned impromptu live streams. And existing media companies are increasingly being forced to complete and match this new way of agile content creation, right? And that's where the shift towards moving to the augmented content with auxiliary information, often live and real term. And this is the world where we have a multi-model, multi-device consumption. And this content producers are focused not only on creating the base content, but the ability to rapidly package it in fast consumable slices, because every small medium enterprise, every corporates or medium enterprises have a different way of packaging to reach out their customers. And that's how the telco should be ready to have those automation that can be custom sliced to the customer needs. And these are the Facebook videos in live broadcast 1 in 5, where live broadcast will be a trend, and 65% of broadcasters would consider adopting 5G for the remote production. Now, this is also very much a new consumption model. And today, consumers have moved to any device, anytime, anywhere consumption of media, and largely facilitated by digitalization of content and ubiquitous availability of mobile networks. And this will improve the network bandwidth, has increased in terms of the high quality of 4K, 8K streaming, and non-linear content consumption are getting to the decline, and they have to pick up in terms how to be very interactive with the sophisticated advertising approaches, right? And this, like 74% of consumers named video streaming as a chief motivation of upgrading to 5G as well. So we can able to see that hyperscaler players are especially Amazon, Google, Microsoft Azure are already working out this with this kind of age, and also the software development in terms to give the customers with the new use cases. Like for example, this is a video production at the edge, and this video production has steadily moved to the cloud-based platform in the past few years, while virtualization and digital technology are fast supplementing the existing studio equipment, and AI and machine learning become mainstream for improving the consumer experiences and increasing the engagement and optimizing the monetization opportunities, right? So that's how the edge is playing very close. It's a box that is very close placed in the enterprises market. These are the new ways to experience the live events with artificial intelligence, edge computing, and high resolution, where smart cameras are being offered as a package in most of the telcos in Europe and US. And those were the days with the premium tier devices in the home enterprise. Today, it's been anybody can purchase lower than the premium level of prices, right? So that's how the CCTV has been evolved as well in terms of the cameras, the dashboard cameras, the video conferencing devices like object classification, segmentation, license plate recognition, face recognition, body detection, people counting, right? So the result is a greater efficiency and more computing power is needed to enable the AI inferring at the network edge. Now, shared media experience, as I said, is a new way of create group movies, TV watching experience for a group of local participants. It also the intelligent content catching that transforms the devices as well. So this is how Amazon AWS Wavelength has actually offered with the deliver of high quality of experience with lower latency for content delivery, reduce capital investment, and also to drive the innovation as well. Now, yesterday I was attending the ITU Digital World 2021 in Europe, building the digital world together. And there was a survey that was being conducted to the most of the European participants, where in terms of 5G revenue streams, where do you see the biggest growth for the new 5G revenue streams by 2025? And this from the audience, interestingly, that B2B massive IoT, which is very much involved in the verticals industries like manufacturing, petroleum, agriculture industry, so on and so forth. That is a huge 41%, followed by the B2C fixed wireless access, a new trend to replace the fiber networks, and also followed by the B2B ultra low latency for mission critical IoT devices, right? So this is how the future is going to look like. And this is the interesting slide here, where when it comes to the 5G monetization, as you know, there's three main categories when it comes to the 5G application. One, the enhanced mobile broadband, when it comes to the higher data rates, increased coverage, connection and traffic density, right? So gaming will fall under the EMBB, enhanced data connectivity, large events like in stadiums, concerts, in-car entertainment, and smart homes. So it's very high content of rich. It can be applications like augmented reality, virtual reality, the head-up display devices. When it comes to ultra reliable, low latency, it's very much towards to the industrial automation, tactile, autonomous vehicles and smart grids, and massive machine type of communications very much focused into the smart cities, agriculture, the fleet management, the shipping and the logistics, right? So in overall, what I could say that 5G will finally go mainstream. For real this time is definitely, and we have been hearing about the benefits of 5G for years now, but it wasn't until the remote work, video conferencing and digital collaboration become core part of life this year. And thanks for COVID-19 in one way, because that actually pushes the deployment of 5G to make sure we have a smooth, seamless video streaming, HD streaming, right? For a reliable connectivity and more bandwidth become real. But my message is to the telcos, I just need to have one clarification here, where when customers want a service tailored to their specific needs, will you be able to keep their business with the vanilla mobile broadband, right? With the new apps, service propositions, appearing faster, that you can reboot your laptop, like so customers like enterprise customers, SMEs want to be able to switch on a dedicated new service quickly, all requiring time to market measured in minutes, not weeks. And that's where the network slicing, if you see on the left-hand side here, it plays a big role in terms of giving a specific needs for a specific customer. Regardless of it can be a mobility, it can be data speed, latency, service availability, coverage, all based on the requirement of specific SME customer. Then those slicing will be offered with a much more affordable price. That's how the future orchestration charging mechanism will work to be, and this should be implemented by the telcos as soon as possible. And if we see this particular slide, it's very much on the 5G network slicing that is giving the specific use cases based on the various business models. And the network slicing will create a separate use case specific logical networks upon a shared physical infrastructure network, right? And we can see here that we have Wi-Fi, small cell, CBRS very much towards the US technology, millimeter wave, which is above the 28 gigahertz. We have the vRAN, open RAN with much more lower cost of hardware. It's an open cloud concept, the open cloud, mobile edge computing, the software-defined networking, network function virtualization cloud. So we have various technologies in the core and the radio to give the best needs for the use cases, right? And if we move to the next slide, this is a very interesting business model offered by Ericsson. And instead of looking at manufacturing, healthcare, and agriculture industry verticals, we focus to use case clusters such as like automatic robots, augmented reality, right, monitoring, tracking, remote operations, where this particular cluster can able to apply to any particular vertical industries. That's how the method of telcos should look in terms to gain a high revenue, because yeah, one particular application can be applicable to various industry, and each cluster needs to define the characteristics in terms of the mobility, the data speeds, the latency, and also the service availability. Now, this is just to give some sort of explanation in terms of the CSP's 5G services, how a paradigm shift within few years from 2018 up to 2021 in terms of the service of offerings from a fixed wireless access moving towards a consumer industrial IoT. When it comes to monetization area, from direct consumer and enterprise moving to consumers and enterprise indirectly, especially when we have this method of B to B to X rather than a traditional B to B or B to C. And those main use cases involved in terms of indoor CSP moving towards to ultra mobile, semi-mobile, stationary, and the pricing and the proposition has been tremendously innovating in terms of consumer bundle, enterprise industrial packaging in terms of connectivity, insight based and outcome based. So we could able to see this change of trend. This is quite interesting in terms of how B2B and B2C moving towards to the what we call towards to B2B to X, right? So if you see this particular box in the center here, this is the box that offered by entity group partners, where they are offering to their customer, which is known as a service provider. And this service provider is main players. It can be a stadium operator, or it can be an event organizer, right? And they are B2B, right? So if B to X means these service providers can offer to their customers. It can be a business, it can be a consumer. It can be B or it can be C. So B to B to B or B to B to C. And those customers, they are consumers like in stadium, it can be the fans, or it can be the retailers in the stadium. Even in the events also, there can be retailers close by who wants to offer a special package by the service providers. And that's how the trend is going to look like. Another scenario by entity group from Japan is their customer is a service provider like a local municipality. For example, like DBKL in Malaysia, right? So DBKL can able to be a service provider for their customers, the residents, the tourists, and the local companies. So that's how the trend is changing towards to the B to B to X trend, where more SMEs involved in that sense. Now, this is quite an interesting slide where it's very much giving a quick 10 opportunities of use cases. Is either it can be a B2B or B2C or B2B to X, right? So at least you can get some idea where are those use cases that has been popular in US and Europe. And for example, like hospitals with the digitizing healthcare delivery, the hospital providers contracted connectivity for on-site therapies, B2B, right? So, and for their clients, which is the inpatient, then we consider this B2B to C. So from a telco point of view, they offer those as a provider service towards to the hospital management, and that hospital management knows how to repackage it, their packages of services for the inpatients or outpatients remotely, right? So and this has been picked up very clearly. I mean, even in Malaysia, For example, Sunway University have already done some virtualization, remote monitoring for patient, right? So this is not something new, and the trend has been started. But I think when it comes to 5G, then we need a very stable network to run the HD streaming remotely. In terms of the opportunity too, this is very much towards to the esports, high data capacity for multiplayer live streaming, where esports tournament organizers contract to run multiplayer competition and deliver more interactive, dynamic gameplay streaming, multiple points to views, right, for B2B2C consumers, right? So that is quite a trend, right? One typical example that was successfully implemented was Tour de France, right? And Tour de France, they were really successful in implementing very much fans streaming, you know, on the move when the cycle is moving. You know, hundreds of cameras were going together to make sure the event is successful, and it was a very good take up in that sense. Now the other use case is the live event with a massive uplink streaming capacity with guaranteed SLAs. And this is quite popular, especially in the broadcasting companies, media production companies who works together with broadcasting companies, when how you want to have these live concerts anywhere, either a stadium or an outdoor, with the ultra high density content, B2B, uncompressed and the highest quality, as well as streaming of all videos to the B2B2C, to local or even remote fans. Remote fans, even from a TV, you know, you can able to watch direct live from your home, as though that you are in the live event. And that's where the 6 degrees of freedom devices has been introduced in the live event, and also for the home users as well. Now, moving on to the next use case. This is use case where with the connected stadium with ultra low latency and immersive extended reality experience, with the mixed reality fan experience that I have mentioned earlier, sports stadiums contracting for bespoke connectivity to meet specific SLAs, service level agreements, enabling fans to enjoy the rich augmented reality content, right? I think some of the countries, for the football players, they have implemented a camera that is fixed towards the uniform of the players, right? So the audience can able to see how the ball has been kicked, or how the goalkeeper is catching the ball, and as though that they are experiencing like they are kicking the ball on the field, right? So this has been tested, it's proven successful, and I think it will be implemented commercially very fast, you know, starting in US and Europe as well. Now, opportunity 5, right? And this opportunity 5 is smart transport hub, capacity scaling for a consistent experience. It's a better connectivity in crowded spaces, like transit hubs such as airports, railway stations, provide passengers with highly scalable, ultra fast connectivity. And when it comes to the airports and railway stations, the best solution for hardware infrastructure is the 5G private networks, which gives a better connectivity in those crowd spaces with the edge capacity. And organizations like Nokia has deployed massively in Europe, you know, in France, airport as well, and also some of the railway stations as well in Europe. As well. So this is quite a good new trend in terms of those crowded transit hubs. Opportunity 6 is very much involved in campus network, single site running private and semi-privates, and a private network for my building, right? So this is a very much involved for real estate company contracting for campus-wide connectivity to run secure building management applications and devices, particularly the B2B or the B2B2B, especially, you know, like a lot of organizations like startup accelerators, where they have hundreds of startup companies who wants to work under in one roof or in one floor, and they need a super high reach infrastructure And that's how the campus network will be very useful. The other example is like universities also is getting a good traction, campus networks, which is already implemented most of the universities in Europe, where they can enjoy the huge traction of data, right? So because if we say in terms of the data, in the latest statistics of data usage, I could say that in this 21st century, 1 minute there's 400 hours new videos and 2.5 million Instagram posts. 1 minute, right? And one day there's a data of 2.5 exabytes has been consumed. And for YouTube, there's 500 hours of videos uploaded every minute just on YouTube. So that's how the huge data consumed, right, in the market, right? So therefore we need to have a reliable infrastructure for certain campus specific requirement. The other area is the remote working, where the same room experience with zero lag IoT control from anywhere, very much to the industry purpose, large enterprise providing on-site connectivity while also enabling remote workers with distributed ultra low latency connectivity. So this is a good example for some of the industry. It can be a automobile industry, it can be a manufacturing industry, high-end industry, airport, manufacturing of planes, where those experts are very limited, right, for certain specific of engine repair or what, and they can't be flying on time and they need to work remotely. So applications like augmented reality and virtual reality are much more important and critical, where the technicians with the fixed of the devices, the head-up devices can able to work closely with the senior experts from the headquarters to make sure they could be able to repair those specific machine failures in the industry. So this remote working is one of the fantastic opportunities. The eighth is the connected retail with multi-site connectivities with service level agreements. Smart shopping is a very much futuristic applications, like you can able to wear the clothings virtually from your home and choose which clothing that you prefer, and you can able to order the items from the web store, or you can use the cosmetics, you can use the eyelashes, the lipstick or whatever from your device and see whether it suits well for you, and bingo, you just need to press the button, order, and that's where you'll get it delivered. And this use a lot of churn of AR applications. The opportunity 9 when it comes to remote customer support, high definition communication, it's support workers can recreate customer problems in digital twin applications, right? Because digital twin is something very interesting. It's a replica of the exact machinery in terms of a virtual 3D, where remotely they can able to guide which specific bolt or nut, because you might see thousands of wires or bolts or nuts, you wouldn't know which one needs to be rectified. And with this graphic 3D digital twin, it's much more easier to trace. And lastly is the fully mobile gigabit connectivity, which comes to the fixed wireless access for construction. It's very much an uptrend with the full scale of AR modeling in terms to give very much faster or smoother experience in the construction. And with all these use cases, with all these different various of applications, the telcos are required to have an extensible data model that can add a new attributes quickly without the new business logic for highly flexible charging mechanism with the API first design, the product-based solution or all digital journeys, and with the cloud native architecture and single platform for all services. The future trend for telcos is they got to relook their models, and organize companies like Rakuten from Japan, Dish Network from USA, which are the greenfields who came out with the fantastic of open cloud, open RAN where they have given a flexible applications towards the consumers to choose those applications. So this is the last slide that I would like to explain in terms of the asset provider, in terms of the platform they are giving, and those like the hyperscalers, the telcos also need to relook where, like in the hyperscalers, in terms of how they want to provide the infrastructure as a platform, the network as a service, the platform as a service, right? So even the telcos need to actually give some idea, like for airports or even the ports for the shipping, how those ports can build themselves as a network as a service with a minimal of 5G network slicing, that those ports can have the full control with the security, privacy in the designated area, right? And in terms of the connectivity provider, it gives a best effort of IP connectivity. When it comes to the partner service provider, an operator offers to end customer based on operator capabilities in terms of connectivity, the contacts, the enrich. And I think the partner service provider is very important, right? Because telco has to look how they want to build with their huge potential partners, as a service providers, like a MVNO concept, because then that's how they can able to reach to the much bigger reach out of users. That's how the future is going to look like. And basically, we Global 5G Evolution, we provide consultancy services, and we also have international collaboration with various industry experts from worldwide, where we will give some of the consultancy program, which I will highlight in a short while. And we have this industry analysis, marketing and strategy. So for those either from it can be from a university background or from the industry, the verticals, be it manufacturing, port, airports, SMEs, manufacturing sectors. If you don't know how the digitalization and how we should work and how we should actually leverage with the telcos, please feel free to approach me. We offer those kind of consultancy services as well. And these are some of the consultancy that we are offering: technology market assessment, technology startup scouting, the value proposition, the vertical market assessment. All this you can able to see on our website, global5gevolution.com. And this is our YouTube channel. Please feel free to scan and access free information. Some of the organizers, they charge between $100 USD to $1,000+ USD, and I'm offering this for free so that everyone can enjoy, particularly the university students, SMEs who don't know what it's all about, the whole ecosystem of 5G. And various of these experts came together to share this valuable information where you can able to access. Thank you so much. And I pass it to the moderator, Mr. Fauzan, to conduct the Q&A.
Thank you, Mr. Ganesh. Very insightful topic on 5G. And I guess it's reflected in the several questions that we have today and the remaining few minutes that we have left. So I hope you don't mind. Let's proceed with the first question that we have from Fernando Lajos. 5G looks exciting and everyone talks about the high speeds, the data rates, etc. But what about stability? Most streamers, gamers, for example, care mostly about the stability, aka ping, rather than the speed. So he personally prefers stability and coverage over speed. So what's your view on that?
It really depends on country to country basis, right? Because different countries have the different way of implementation, the infrastructure, and those infrastructures, it depends what kind of infrastructure. It can be a traditional infrastructure, whether it's a non-standalone or standalone, and how those upgrade of the infrastructure is being implemented, or how the network planning has been deployed in the respective cities, whether it's a major city or it can be suburban, or even rural areas. So I mean, especially at this period of time in major countries or major cities like in US and Europe, I think the concentration is very much focused to the bigger cities, right? Compared to the smaller towns or even the rural areas. So I would say that the stability and the reliability and everything is very much focused into those specific main cities in the beginning, because the infrastructure for 5G is 4 or 5 times higher cost compared to the 4G, right? And there's a huge number of antennas, CUs, DUs needs to be deployed, and it's 4 times or 5 times higher compared to the traditional 4G of LTE if you see on a rooftop or a tower, because of the huge amount of data streaming towards to the consumers, because the amount of data needs like 𝗵𝗂 concept, right? The 𝗵𝗂 multiple in, multiple out needs a lot of antennas to download the huge gigabits, like we are talking 1 gigabit per second kind of download. So that's where the stability needs to be compromised depending on the location. So but down the line in the coming months or years, it will get stable, like how the 4G has been stable. It'll take some time for 5G to be stable.
All right, thanks. Next question from IR Amir Farid. Any insights about the early development of 6G? The next.
Yeah, there is some early developments in the 6G. If in order for you to get the latest trend of 6G, our conference session of Global 5G Evolution, 9 p.m. coming Tuesday, September 7th, where our speaker, a prominent speaker from France, Paulo, will be presenting the 6G technology so that you could be able to see what the latest developments. But on a high level, I can tell you, 6G is totally different, right? It's like 10 times bigger than what 5G is offering. And it's not on terrestrial. Terrestrial means on the ground, right? It's higher than that. That means you're streaming directly to the planes, and from the satellites towards the planes or the jets. It's like it's a vertical kind of a traffic transfer compared to the 5G of a terrestrial transfer. So it's tactile haptics communications. That will be the future trending. You have these virtual touch screens and everything, which is already there in 5G, but it will be much more stable when it comes to the 6G platform.
All right, thank you. Another one from Akmal Abdul Wahab. What's your thoughts around 5G SPV or DNB model in Malaysia? Digital National Berhad.
Oh, thank you for asking this question. This is a very interesting question, right? I was really shocked to hear the telecom body GSMA, who has mentioned that the single wholesale network, which is what has been implemented, the model in Digital National Berhad, may face high risk and challenges. This is what the remarks from GSMA. And on top of that, I think the former Telecom Malaysia chairman have yesterday in Sinar Harian also expressed his concern that the plan of DNB may not be successful. But I have other opinion, because I say that as the new initiative of the single wholesale network initiated by DNB, this is the first kind of model that no one in the world has been done. But even GSMA claims that some countries like in Rwanda, who has done, or a few other countries who has done the single wholesale network has failed. But they failed to see that was back in the 3G or 4G model. But 5G model is totally a different model. And I can assure you, if this implemented in a proper way, in a proper blueprint and the method of procedures and a proper partnership with the telcos, I can tell you this will take off. It will be take off in a different way. And I can assure you, because of it's a first of its kind, a lot of countries like US and Europe will start to emulate as what Malaysia has been doing and Malaysia has been practicing. And I can guarantee you 100%, if DNB does in a proper way, in a proper partnerships with the ecosystem players, especially telcos, because telcos has to work together. Telcos has to work together to make sure that, well, of course, the telcos are not really happy about this situation. But then, come on, let's see. This former TM CEO was telling that the telcos will not able to make money based on this single wholesale network and also on so on and so forth. Come on, like South Korea Telecom or Korea Telecom in Korea, they have invested huge number of investment for the last 2 years, and they didn't even get break even. All right, that is a traditional way of mobile operators, not even single wholesale network. Yeah, it's a traditional way of implementation, and yet they couldn't able, but they dare to invest, because they've been frontliners 20 years ago since the 3G days, right? But because they believe that they will be succeed, and they always have been succeeded in terms of the market growth, in terms of augmented reality growth. Pokemon, it was a big, huge takeoff, right? So the consumers has changed, and they are willing to do. And I think Malaysia will reach to that level with a single wholesale network if the telcos work cooperatively together closely, and DNB also should look how they could partnership with hyperscale players in terms of the web store, how they want to bring the huge millions of smart enterprises, the small medium enterprises, to be part of this program, where they can able enjoy with the network slicing, with the affordable packages. I tell you, this will be a takeoff, and a lot of countries will start emulate Malaysia. And I have confidence the DNB will be very successful.
All right, very good, very uplifting and positive mood there. Thank you very much. I'm afraid that's all the time we have for tonight's session. Just a quick reminder that we have our next IET technical webinar session on 11th of September on the topic of energy management, the map to consistent energy efficiency. So that's a collaboration with IEM, EETD, and TNB. So look out for those links and registration in our IET website. So before we end the session, thank you very much to our speaker, Mr. Kaneshwaran Govindasamy. Please reach out to him direct on YouTube channel or even the website if you got any further questions. With that, thank you very much, audience. We'll see you again next time. Thank you. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
Bye-bye.